Hey guys, my name is Simpzy, how you all doing? Welcome back to some more Medieval 2 Total War Definitive Edition. Here today on the channel we have episode 5 of my Holy Roman Empire campaign. Here today we're going to be continuing our wars against the Byzantines and the English. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I'd really much appreciate it. Alright, so we've got Emperor Heinrich here pushing towards Constantinople to try and take the culturally significant old Roman Empire capital. That would be huge for his imperial reign. We currently have Maximilian Mandorf currently besieging out the English in Aquitaine. And look, you know what? We're going to actually fight this one here today against the English. Our first major conflict against them. Mandorf, obviously famed for his victory against the French in the last episode, winning the Battle of Toulouse. He could play a pivotal and influential role against the English. He is hoping. You gonna say a speech? Hurry up. There we go.
Two men. We have work to do here. Although if we wait, the plague might carry them off fast.
Okay, not the longest one, but anyway, let's get stuck in. This army build looks a little bit more developed. We've got some mercenary militia cavalry coming from the Merchants Guild in Venice. We've also got some classic Medieval 2 armored spears. Let's chuck those fellas on the ladders because we want them to do the fighting. We don't want to chuck them on the ram because we don't want to get absolutely shredded. They are way more valuable being a fierce fighting infantry unit. 3 units of mercenary crossbowmen, they're always goaded in this game, and we've got other bowmen as well, so we'll put them on the flank and try and get them to arc their shots. So, should be a good war against the English. They're probably a larger faction than France in the last episode, who basically gave up their claim to the north of their kingdom and in the centre. They decided to defend the south, and luckily, with this man here, we had an unbelievable result against the French, destroying 2 full stacks in one battle, fighting at the monastery in and around Toulouse. It was actually quite an exceptional battle, I'm not even going to lie. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So, once we deal with the English in Aquitaine, they're going to be hating losing it again. We're going to push into, what, Brittany, and then their holdings in Normandy, and then we might have to make plans and preparations, if we're lucky here today, to have the invasion of Britannia. We might be able to cross the English Channel and take London. That would be exceptional if we could do it. We're doing super well in the campaign, and we're starting to, I wouldn't say snowball just yet, but we are really reaping the rewards and hard-fought effort of our Germanic countrymen earlier in the series, as my siege equipment is just going to move on up here. Taking Venice was absolutely the play early on. There's a fair few ways you can go in this HRE series. Some people like to rush the French. Some people prefer to go against Poland, Denmark, and Hungary, which I don't personally tend to like. Some people even focus on Milan, or like rush the papacy just to secure Italy. There's a fair few ways that you can go. So everything is we're doing quite well on the Western Front. We've got most of our military assets over here as the Holy Roman Empire infantry make their way up onto the walls of Bordeaux. Oh no, we've lost a battering ram. Oh, that's been a while since that's happened. Oh, unfortunately we got the RNG. That's super close as well. Was that hot boiling oil potentially that engulfed the battering ram? Oh no. So one of those infantry is going to get pretty bad losses. Okay, so yeah, I'm surprised that happened. I got lulled into a bit of a false sense of security with my rams because it's been a while since that happened. The best way to avoid that is actually move your rams up at the same time, because we could actually lose both of them now if that first one is anything to go by. Alright, doing quite well here. Whittling down them on the walls. And our secondary ram is moving up here. If we do lose the ram, we just need to swing our infantry onto the gateway. So, oh, we lost it! Oh my god. Who is this sharpshooter? He should get a bloody medal. Taking out 2 Holy Roman battering rams. Mein Gott! The battering ram engineers are performing like shithouse. Scheißenhausen. Ah! Mein Gott! Oh god. Anyway, we're still, like I said, committing most of our forces here in the west. We have about 3-4 stacks in operation. With Otto von Kessel, Prince Henry, who has been a little bit of an underwhelming heir. I'm not even going to lie. Most of my generals have really risen to the Western Front, as while we're claiming territory, taking names, writing limericks and tales and epic stories, the Emperor himself, Heinrich, is still trying to fulfill his dream and ambition of being the Holy Roman Emperor in control of Constantinople. And we're still funding his expedition. Yeah, it's kind of cool that, like, he hasn't even had any influence on the West. He's sort of been like, look, he's going on, like, his own pilgrim and quest to be, hey, my ambition and dream is to be the Emperor, to march on in and take Constantinople. I'll leave my sons and my generals that want to carve out their own kingdoms and get their own dukedoms and territory in the east. Okay, so we've taken the gateway now. We want to move push into the town square. There's a lot of cavalry in there, so our spearmen should be able to excel. One of those mercenary spearmen units did get hit, but thankfully, one of them is at really good strength. Unfortunately for the English in this battle, they don't have a general, which is massively going to swing the battle in our favour. It's pretty hard for the AI to defend a position. Like, just the Medieval 2 compounding. Actually, I guess it's vice versa. Like, if you have a general and the other opposing force doesn't, it can really, like, swing the tide. Like, it's seriously the defining factor, not dividing. Defining factor, especially on the harder difficulties for Medieval 2. Alright, so we've managed to get rid of the enemy captain, and we're just trying to whittle down the last of the English here. But we will continue upon the initiative, taking France. We're not going to sit and quell on our laurels. We really want to be up and going. We want to continue to expand and conquer. We just want to go, and keep it up. Oh my god. Yeah, this must be... I was going to say, they must have a tech, but that's not a... Tech didn't really come until Empire/Napoleon, did it? There are, like, bonuses and stuff, but that arrow... there are arrows coming out of the keep there, which is insane. And that's probably what ticked it up quite a bit. Anyway, first battle of today's video. Perfect. We've taken Bordeaux, and yeah, we have secured France completely. Alright, so it's time to sail on over and across the English Channel. We'll go one at a time, because we do want to try and be a little bit careful and cautious of the English Navy. They want a ceasefire. No. Portugal want trade, sure. I'm surprised we haven't encountered them just yet. Particularly where we border them in Pamplona, just over the Pyrenees. You kind of forget that they have that ahistorical territory over there. It kind of exposes them quite a bit. Okay. Oh, thankfully. Oh, they've done the same thing to me. As Henry lands in England, along with Otto von Kessel and von Saxony, we might be able to siege out London, and we will. Alright, let's get things underway. But we're going to have to keep an eye on that English invading force that has landed in Antwerp. Alright, back over and down in the Eastern Theatre. An army has come out of Constantinople to fight us on the field to stop us sieging and surrounding the city. So they're actually going to stand and fight. Prince John of the Byzantine royal line is going to come out and meet us. So we'll fight this one. We're going to have the battle for Constantinople. We will not have the siege, as they want to stop us from even laying siege to the city. I do admire the ambition of that, not wanting to get surrounded. As sieges are for cowards, whatever the quote was in that Last Kingdom series. Really good TV show. Shame that it's ended.
Duty has brought me here, despite the many wounds that I have suffered and the scars that I bear. Duty to the Empire and to you, my fine soldiers. I mean to lead you to victory, if God wills it. Our foes, the foul Byzantines, cannot be trusted by plain-speaking Germans. Keep your wits about you, men, and strike as soon as the opportunity presents. I see little reason to needlessly risk German lives today. Let us rain death upon our foes, and let them struggle to come to grips with us. And now, noble Germans, look to your duty and smile. If you die...
Alright, let's get stuck into the Byzantines. But I quickly just mentioned the Last Kingdom there. I really enjoy that show. Let me know in the comments, guys. What do you think? If you've watched Vikings in the Last Kingdom, no spoilers, do you reckon what's a better show overall? Vikings or the Last Kingdom? I think, honestly, I like the Last Kingdom. like, obviously, it's pretty hard to beat the top tier performance of my fellow Aussie countryman Travis Fimmel as Ragnar. He's exceptional, but I think overall as a show, I think I like the Last Kingdom, especially some of the actors as well. It's actually really good. I would recommend it if you're sort of into those type of movies. I don't know. I like those type of medieval movies, even if it's anything like history, like themed and focused, or it's got a historic flair to it. I'm always down with that stuff. I'm not so much into like comic books and stuff and Marvel and all that sort of stuff, but I think that's my thing. You know what I mean? Like even stuff that's kind of a little bit crap, like having nostalgia for. Like, I used to watch so many of those movies when I would always, like, as a kid, just like, oh, what's the next, like, King Arthur? You know that King Arthur movie? It's a little bit goofy, but it's not the best. Like, anything, like, there was a whole, like, those early 2000s movies where they were, like, Kingdom of Heaven. That's, like, a really good movie. Like, the director's cut is fantastic. But then there was also, like, King Arthur's and all those stuff, like, around that as well. I kind of like that sort of stuff. Like... although it's not the most highbrow show or critically acclaimed, I actually did like a lot of scenes from that Templar show, even though it went a little bit off the edge. What was that show called? The Last Templar or something? I can't even remember off the top of my head, as we're currently just sort of peppering the first initial Byzantine army there. We just want to try and quickly wipe this first one that's encountered us, and then we'll wait for the Byzantine prince to come in. Like, Mark Hamill in that, right, is actually quite good for Season 2. Like, him being a grizzled old Templar commander, like, it's great. It's like him doing his training with the new Templar recruits. Climb that fucking wall! There's like, him being like a really old Templar is hilarious. Nightfall, that's what it was called. I didn't know if it was called like The Last Templar. That's it, Nightfall. I just had to look it up on my phone. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. A lot of goofy stuff, some of the costume as well, but there's like even like scenes from that sort of stuff I like.
Behold how our
cowardly foe runs.
Oh, I remember watching some whack one as well. Like there was some, I don't know what it was, some terrible movie where like the Roman Empire is like battling the Chinese or something crazy like that. Like it's like some, and they're battling over some island or whatever. There was a couple, like there's even some real like whack and goofy ones like that. Alright, let's move on up here. As they're actually starting to progress against us. We're going to get the morale boost from killing the enemy captain. It's about 60% in our favour, so we've got it on us. Yeah. But I think a lot of people that sort of watch these type of videos and they probably think the same thing. Like, it's a campy. It's like I don't mind really sort of. It's not really feel good, but it's just like sort of. You know, nice feeling historical TV shows and movies that I like to watch in my spare time. We managed to knock out 20% of the enemy forces, which is quite good. Alright, let's form on up and meet the Byzantines. Now, they should have better quality spear than me. They've probably arguably got better cavalry as well with their cataphractoi or cataphractari or whatever. Oh my god, look how good that unit looks. We've got to be careful with the Emperor, but this is make or break for his dream. We've only got one, like this is the main army. We've only really got one full stack over here. If we lose this, we're going to have to flee back to Greece and go again. Right, guard mode. Thankfully, we've got a bunch of Balkan archers. We've lost a lot of our own. We do have mercenary crossbows. Alright. Looks like their general is actually going to go against my cavalry here. Now, they're not going to last very long in combat, these fellas. But if I can swing around with the Emperor, we might be able to make a play here. Yeah, maybe I should turn off skirmish mode there. It's actually saved me quite sometimes in this Medieval 2 campaign where I've noticed that the AI is just so intelligent to wrap around with cavalry. This time around, they don't seem to have cavalry supremacy on me. So they probably didn't need to run back there. But the Emperor has made the decision to charge against the Byzantine princeling. The mailed cavalry have lost 40 units trying to hold them. And now, hopefully, we can just bide and play for time. 27 remaining.
This battle progresses well for the Empire.
The Emperor is losing a lot of his bodyguard. There's only 20 for them. Oh my god, they are they're actually running for my archers, which is interesting. Oh, okay. Nearly outnumbering 2 to 1 there. Our general's bodyguard has really traded with his, and we've got him.
Slain the enemy general.
The Byzantine prince has been slain, and the army's in a full retreat after seeing the boy born in purple lying in red, I guess, on the battlefield. Let's try and run down as many of these as we can. Oh, hell yeah, because we should be able to waltz on into Constantinople. Wow, what a huge capture point that'll be. It's not a part of our victory conditions. Same with Jerusalem. It's actually Rome for us to take. So even like the victory conditions take into consideration that we're sort of wanting to go on our own path. But yeah, massive settlement. It's going to get to the point where we might need to move our capital. We might need to do it once we hit our victory conditions. But we'll see how we go. So hopefully I've done enough work here in this fight to destroy the units. Oh dude, we only lost 300. We dominated them. We did outnumber them by about 200. So we should be able to just march on in to Constantinople because there should be no garrison. It'd be annoying if we have to siege it out. Nah, we can go right on in. Oh, perfect. Here we go, boys. The moment you've been waiting for. Oh, Constantinople is ours. We're going to sack the city. Oh, great. So there's a plague. Just what we need. Pfft. Giving the Emperor the plague. Oh my god. That's what you get for reclaiming Constantinople. We've got a plague potentially. Oh no! Well, we might have to move to Nicaea as well. They mustn't have too many more forces left, the Byzantines. 7.5% as well. Oh, that's huge. 40% distance from capital as well. That could be better. Hello, Hungary. An alliance. You're joking. You're not sure. I'll accept that. We've actually kept pretty good amicable relations with them. I'm surprised they've done that. Okay, so the Emperor's been affected. You've got to be joking. The Byzantines have full on let the city plague on up. It's actually not making that much money. That's so annoying. Emperor Alexios has moved down here. So we might have to move Leopold back because I do have reinforcements coming. Last thing I want is them to be caught. Oh, okay, Leopold nearly has like a full stack there. Okay, so that army that invaded Antwerp actually came back, which is surprising. We're going to be able to surround it as well. I think we'll fight this one because we've built the siege equipment in London, but it's not going to be the most difficult fight. We're actually going to have a better battle here. So we're going to march the English back to the cliffs from where they disembarked. We've got a unit of ballista here for the first time in our army build. But what is this, the third battle of today's video? We've gone through a fair few. Let's get stuck into the English again.
Michael, this moment is worth savoring. Our duty is now clear. We have put our faith in God. We face a foe to test our mettle. I stand before a magnificent company of imperial soldiers. All that can be done is done, and only battle remains. Look to your arms, and prepare your souls. I spy an English army over there. At least I assume it's an English army. For I can think of no other people who think it necessary to reek like an alehouse privy. Even a Frenchman has more pride than that.
Let's get stuck into the English then. But another fight where there is no general present. This is a pretty decent looking army build. A lot more well balanced, I think. Mostly made up of spear militia. Some of them not the most strongest, but they've got some chevrons here. We have 5 units of cavalry. A ballista. Would like some more crossbowmen, but this is more of a sieging and surrounding army. I would have thought London would have had a bigger garrison, but I think as we attacked, they were trying to regain and position themselves in France. They just weren't expecting France to capitulate so quickly. Alright, there's a little bit of a farm that seems to be in the way, so we'll pivot around leftward. We've got their back towards the sea, and we'll try and push and press them. We do have ballista as well. So although we're attacking them, they're probably going to sally out against us, because that last thing they want is to constantly get hit with a barrage of ballista. And once we take London and southern England for all intensive purposes, we can use this as a launching pad to delve deeper into the British Isles and go after the various thrones. We've got Wales, we've got York. I was going to say Nottingham isn't in this one. It's saying that Steel has Nottingham. And then we've obviously got Scotland and Ireland. But the Holy Roman Empire ballista is getting its work. We're bringing back some of the ballista pedigree that the Roman Empire was famed for. Hell yeah. We've gotten someone to dive into the schematics that were left for us. That'd be cool if there was like, oh, ancient Roman, like, heretic trait or something. You know what I mean? Additional ammunition for, or it's like accuracy with ballista. That'd be quite cool. if that was a thing. As the English look to clash upon our front line. They're setting in the peasants first. Perfect. That's what we like to see. They're sitting back a little bit, but we're getting into a massive flanking position here. And you know what? Let's just get stuck into them. Let's charge. For death and glory, lads. Oh, hang on. They're actually coming up here. Oh, there we go. I was about to go. They're not committing all of them. Oh, they're actually defending somewhat. We've got to be careful because we don't want to lose too many of them. Oh, now, there we go. Now that's a bit better. Where are you? Yeah, there we go. Let's go this time around. This is right. For death and glory, lads. Let's go. I flaked out at the last minute there. Alright, let's charge it into the units that are holding. Oh my god, look at this. Couple hundred cavalry charging on in. The captain's gone. And we're just really mopping off the last of the English here. A glorious victory, sire, will be ours. Only half of the enemy force remains. Yeah, where are the French, the English princes and lords, rather? So we did get rid of Robert. That's all we've seen. Where's Rufus? Where's Henry? I wonder. Maybe one of them's in London itself. Where is the English king? Why has he forsaken you? As this will be the second army that we've crushed.
We have broken the enemy army. Now it is time
the second or so. Full stack. Let's just try and run down as many of them as we can. It's interesting that they decided to come back to England. And that they both had the plan of an invasion. Operation Antwerp was a failure, as Otto von Kassel wins another glorious victory for the Reich. Otto obviously was the major commanding general in the offensive against the Milanese. And basically secured northern Italy for us. So here's Prince Henry. So we've gotten rid of Robert. All that leaves is Rufus. I think Rufus has taken the as Prince Henry gets rid of Henry, more than likely his cousin. Alright, let's all move together to Nottingham. So King Rufus is now the faction leader. We might actually be able to get rid of the English in that battle if we're lucky. Von Bremen, a thieves guild in London. Ah! A crusade's been... Oh, no, it's failed. Oh, okay, good. It failed in Cairo. That's incredibly interesting. I've decided to move the Emperor out. I think to negate some of the plague and pestilence issues, you actually should move your general out of the settlement. I think it actually increases the rate of which the plague sort of goes out as well. I don't think they get like the modifiers stacking on them if they're in the settlement. I could be wrong. But we'll take Nottingham now with a clear-cut auto resolve. No, Nottingham is in the game. York is further north. Oh, but it's under Scottish control. And England has been destroyed. Oh, wow. They've run out of family members. And we're finally going to be able to get a Teutonic Knights chapter house in Frankfurt. Awesome. We can finally get Teutonic Knights. Well, hopefully, we can get some of them in the future. Well, unfortunately, on that note, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed episode 5 of the series. Stay tuned for episode 6 coming out tomorrow as we continue the invasion of the British Isles. I'm curious to see how much of it is actually rebel or under Scottish control. So a war against the Highland clans is more than likely inevitable. And we've still got to deal with our war on the Eastern Front. Everything is looking quite chill and peaceful in the Pyrenees and in Spain. And same with Denmark. We've still got an alliance with them. And now we've got an alliance with Hungary, which is kind of huge. I'm not even going to lie. But anyway, thanks for watching, fellas. I'm going to play the outro now, and I'll see you in the next video. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you want to stay connected with me. I also want to say thank you to this month's patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tao, Lion B, Kyle P, Tom C, and White P. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.